Hello, dear viewer. Did you know if you don't shoot at an enemy, you can still get a headshot? My name's Orionsgear, and I'm going to tell you why the Synoid Simulor is a stupid gun. But on a more serious note, welcome to the Lavos Synoid Simulor build, where we're going to be taking a look at some interesting mechanics between Lavos and status effects, and how that affects the damage of a Synoid Simulor. So first of all, I would like to point out that this isn't a practical build. This is something I've made for my own, pure enjoyment. You'll notice immediately the mecha set is involved. This is because we're dealing with lots of status effects, high armor, high resilience, so adaptation and vitality, primed continuity, nearest hatred, organ message, and constitution. This is all building into his status duration, which also scales with his regular duration, which also scales with Eclipse to give myself a base increase of damage and damage reduction, with some strange arcanes, Arcane Range and Arcane Victory in question. Now, what are headshot arcanes doing on a frame that's supposed to be building into his fourth ability, which has been subsumed, by the way, with a weapon that's the equivalent to a digital grenade launcher? Well, I'm going to show you in a second, but before that, we have to go through the Simulor. So this is the Synoid Simulor build. You'll immediately notice I'm using all three galvanized mods, as well as a combination of different elemental mods with file acceleration and primary deadhead. Because for some reason, some way or another, primary deadhead actually procs even when you shoot just above an enemy's head, and when it does that, it gives everything after that one is shot a damage buff, and when it gives everything else a damage buff, it also gives the passive ability a damage buff, which is when it creates like a mini vortex in the map. This is the build I use scarcely, simply because it has a Riven, but for practical purposes I'm showing you the non-Riven build because I'm aware, not everyone has access to a Riven that I rolled for 120,000 Kuva into it. Yes, it is a waste. No, I am not sorry. This is funny, leave it be. Also, I would recommend not running a secondary or melee that's specific in mind unless you know it's going to assist you. For example, a secondary that only holds Cascadia Flare. But apart from that, I don't believe that there is any melee or focus tree that will assist in this ridiculous build. To show off the no Riven build by using Eclipse with 55 seconds on it, because it scales with duration, on level 180 volatile Eximus units. The damage isn't instant or apparent, but by spreading it over the general area at head level, 62,000 damage per tick, that's not exactly nothing to scoff at. I would also like to point out that all of the headshot arcanes are going off, and the mecha set is also assisting in giving bonus armor when things die. This pretty much creates a ton of chaos for enemies. I'd also like to point out that the yellow crits are also occurring completely naturally. They're not being forced by any critical buffs apart from Argon Scope. And for those at home who wanted to see the other build for my Synoid, the one I use with a Riven and Hunter's Munitions, for some reason, yes, it actually does do slash damage, though it is negligible. Yeah, there we go. If you didn't just see a slash tick, then rewatch this part of the video, because it was it's dealing slash damage, because nothing's better than having the equivalent to a digital grenade launcher deal slash damage. I will reiterate one more time, this is just a fun build. If you wanted to experiment more with this build, I would recommend using Elemental Ward, Nourish, Reave, Smite with its Augment, or Roar over Lavos' 1 or 4. If you were to improve it even more, I'd love to see it. If you wanted to take advantage of Archon Vitality instead of regular Vitality, you would be subsuming over his first ability for something else, and then using his, well, freeing up his fourth ability so he has access to his fourth passive ability, which is to imbue attacks with heat damage to take advantage of Archon Vitality to then deal double heat damage. Anyway, this has just been a fun little build from me. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.